Why are we leaving it to the customers to decide how much money we make? Why am I stressed every single time I have to come to work because I don't know how much money I'm going to make, right?
Hello, chefs. This is Chefs PSA, and I'm your host, Andre Natera. Today, my guest on the show is Jam Sanichat, chef and owner of Thai Fresh Restaurant in Austin, Texas. In this episode, we're going to get into Thai cooking, how to write a cookbook from a Kickstarter campaign, being a pioneer in the no-tipping era, and we're going to find out if it's okay to cook with pre-made curry paste. Stay tuned. What were we talking about? Yeah, my Thai is not that good. I mean, it used to be pretty good, like I was saying. It's like 25 years ago that I was having to speak.
That's pretty good. You can say hi though.
Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka.
Yeah, sawadee ka.
For me.
For you. For me, it's ka.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Sawadee. We were talking the other day, is like, I have a special connection with Thai food. Maybe people don't know this. This is my story that I've never shared with anyone. Not that I've never shared with anyone. I've never shared on the podcast.
Right.
But early on in my career, a lot of the kitchen people that I worked with, a lot of the cooks, the prep cooks and everything were all from Thailand. And so I used to talk to them all the time, and they would teach me how to speak Thai, and it was a very beautiful community that I was accepted into. I'd always eat with them, and then
where was this?
This was in Colorado when I worked in Denver, Colorado. I have no idea why there was such a large Thai community there, but there was.
Right, I would say so. Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, and then later on, for people that don't know, I used to train in Muay Thai kickboxing for a number of years, and my coach was from Thailand. His name was he would go by the name of Seksan Janjira, so he was based out of Dallas, Texas. He was really, really great coach, and so he would, after training, we'd go eat his Thai food at his house, and I loved it. So when I became a chef, running my own kitchen later on, and I was doing these French tasting menus, I would always incorporate those Thai flavors because I love them, whether it was lemongrass or lime, things like that. But one time, my very, very first experience with Thai food was in Colorado, and I sat down for lunch, and they said, do you want some? I was like, yeah, be careful because it's spicy. And I said, well, I'm Mexican, I can handle it. Like I eat jalapenos all the time. And they're like, no, it's a different spicy. And oh my God, it was a moment in time that I was like, okay, I can never forget the first time I ate Thai food because I was so sick, because I refused to be like, no, I'm good. I'm sweating and I'm crying. I'm like, no, it's not spicy.
I mean, yeah, even I have to be careful when I say those things. I can't tell the Thai cooks just like, oh, just make it spicy. Because I can't handle it.
You don't like spicy?
I do. I love it. But if I say it, it seems like they want to make it even spicier.
Yeah.
So I can't challenge the Thai cooks.
Yeah. It's,
you can challenge me though. I won't do it.
I love Thai food. But by the way, I love your book. So
thank you.
Let me hold it up for the camera. So for people that are looking, you can see the book. It's a beautiful book. And I want to talk to you about how this came to be, because as I was flipping through it, the recipes look delicious. I was hungry. Thai food is one of my favorite foods. So tell us, how did this book come to be?
Well, I have always wanted to write a book. Well, I wrote a book a long time ago. Man, I don't remember when that was. I think it was 2000. I'm not even going to name the year. It was a while back. Like, I was a blogger, and then they found me through the blog, and it's like, would you like to write a book? So I did. So it was like almost like all recipes, not a lot of photos, almost like a Bible kind of style, like 800 recipes. So I've always wanted to do something that, with photographs, really, like when you hold it up, it feels really good. And then it tells more stories and all that. And then I kind of waited, and then I opened a restaurant. So it kind of got busy. And then one day my friend, who was an editor at magazines in town, Edible Austin. She was no longer with them at the moment. And then so she came in one day or email. It's like, hey, you want to write a cookbook?
This is, the restaurant's already open at this point.
Yes. Yeah. It was back in 2018. So it was like pretty recent. And then so she's like, do you want to write a book? I'll be your editor. I was like, sure. And then so we met next day, drafted what we want to do. And And then we met with the graphic designer and we decided that we're going to do a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like,
so you met someone from, and they said, let's write a book. And the very next day you guys are already strategically planning it.
in a way, like it was almost feel like that. It might have been a couple of days, but it's almost like immediate. So, she's my longtime friend. I've known her since our kids were little, right? So she's just like reached out. She's like, hey, let's write a book. And I was like, sure, let's write a book. And then we sat down and we kind of have the same idea. We want to write it like a memoir style, like kind of telling stories. And I was like, yeah, I love that. It's amazing. So, because I was a blogger for a long time before I opened the restaurant. And so that's my style of writing, right? I always incorporate how I'm connected to that story or how I'm connected to that recipe. So, so we sat down, we met with graphic designer, we talked about it, writing down budgets. And then so we decided to do a Kickstarter, a crowdfunding. And I've seen a couple successful Kickstarters. So I kind of based my, campaign on that. And then we just launched a 45 days, project. I think it was too long. I should have done 30 days though.
So I've never done a Kickstarter, but, maybe I want to write a book and I want to start a Kickstarter.
Do it. Yeah.
Because the books that I've written, so I've written and published several books, but mine are, they're narrative, text heavy.
Right.
There's not really recipes or anything like that. It's more leadership and things like that. But if I ever said I want to write a cookbook, the reason I haven't is because when I was in the process of writing one and we started doing the formatting and things like that. And we started talking to people, the graphic, it's like, oh, it's, $40,000. Like that's a lot of money.
Right.
To publish a book. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if I feel like doing that, but maybe a Kickstarter is the path.
Yeah. I mean, because it's the thing about Kickstarter is that people that, like pledge for the, whatever you are producing, they want it, right? So they already that's what they want. So they want to support you and then they want to have the product in their hands when it's done.
Uh-huh.
So it was almost like you pre-selling it without the product, and then you just let them they just have to trust you that you're going to do it.
So when you create a Kickstarter, for me who has never created a Kickstarter and never contributed to a Kickstarter either, I don't even know if I've ever gone to the website, but how does it work? Do you set up tiers, like you could donate so much, and if you do, what do you get? You get the book
exactly.
that's written?
Exactly. So you do tiers. So we got $40 is a cookbook, which is what the price of the cookbook that we had thought about that time. And then there'll be, well, if you pledge this much, you get a cooking class of private, 8 people, full on, everybody get a book in that class as well. So 8 books plus 8 dinner cooking class kind of thing. Or
they have to come to you, or were you going to them?
I go to their house.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of that. I have just 2 or 3 of those higher tiers, $2,500 or $1,500, or I would have a gift card to Thai Fresh because I already have the restaurant. So I figure I can just, if they don't want to book, because some people don't want to cook, they just want to eat.
Yeah.
So it's okay, it's almost like you buying gift card ahead of time and it's not more than what they pledge. Just like they pledge $100, they get $100 gift card. Just like that. So we take that money and started a Kickstarter, to make the cookbook.
So you were able to raise all 40,000. Is that what you?
It was 60
in 30
and then
days.
we in 45 we got 65,000. I think.
Wow.
Eventually at the end, so it went a little bit over.
So for someone like me who says, "Oh, I could do that," it sounds easy. What's the hard part of that? And what's the easy part?
Well, there's
what
no
would you advise someone.
Yeah. So I think if I have to do it all over again, which I'm actually planning to do for another project, the pre-campaign is very important, right? And you want to make sure that your campaign looks professional, meaning you have put a lot of work in doing that campaign, because once you go on the Kickstarter page, you're going to see a video, right? So that video would just be you talking about your project, how it came about, how you're passionate about it, and all of that. But you want that to be done, professionally. It looks good so that people would be eye-catching, so I would say don't skimp on it. Just make sure you get it done. And then so it looks really good, right? People want to watch it. People want to see you talk about it. And then later on in the campaign, as you scroll up or scroll down, you see photographs, right? Of like, oh, this is what it might look like, or all that stuff, or you do a mock-up, and you want to make sure that those pictures are good quality, right? So like building a beautiful campaign is important, because like first impression, they open it, they see it, they're like, so if they see it and it's not as catching, they would just like go to the next one.
Right. And if I understand correctly, if you don't raise the money in time, you don't get the money.
You don't get at all, zero. And then all the money will be refunded.
So is there a strategy then involved to say, okay, Matt, maybe that's too much. There's no way we could raise that much?
You just have to go for it. I guess.
Just go for it.
You just go for it. And then I guess there's like a couple of strategies. Some people just put in their money first, just to kind of get it going, and then ask, and then you can just pull your money out, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Could you, I'm just making this up because I have no idea. But if I'm thinking like, okay, I need to raise $30,000.
Sure.
And maybe $30,000 might be kind of hard for me to raise.
Right.
But could I say I'm raising $10,000 in 3 different Kickstarter campaigns? So this is phase 1, which would be the publishing, or the photography. Phase 2 might be the copywriting, whatever, and phase 3 would be final edits. And kitchens are brutal right now. Everyone knows it. Fewer people on the line, margins tighter than ever, and somehow the expectations keep going up. There's just no room to miss anymore. I was talking to a chef recently who said the biggest stress wasn't the volume, it was the mental load. Babysitting food, timing everything perfectly, trying to be everywhere at once. And that's where equipment matters more than people want to admit. Rational's technology comes up a lot in those conversations. The iCombi Pro, the iVario Pro, overnight roasts that don't need to be checked, custom programs for all your recipes, consistency without hovering, completely automated cleaning, monitoring everything from your phone, the list goes on. And what really buys you the headspace? Less standing over pans and more time to lead the kitchen instead of constantly putting out tiny fires. When you're down to cook, when the prep list is rough, when the production ramps up, think Rational.
I don't see why not.
I mean, this
You know,
Kickstarter.
you just have to say it in there.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, this is our phase 1. We're going to get this going. We're going to get the...
Yeah, because if you can't raise enough money for phase 1, there is no phase 2, phase 3.
Right. Yeah.
I might do this.
Yeah. And you just have to like, it's almost like, it's one of those things. I want to say that it was like almost like the single most stressful thing I've ever had to do, because it's just, there's a timeline, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. Right. So around the clock, 24/7, you cannot stop thinking about it. It's like, what am I going to do tomorrow to put the words out? What can I do differently?
What were you doing besides what's on Kickstarter?
Yeah. So I was constantly posting videos of me cooking, or posting video of me sitting in front of the restaurant talking about it. So every like 4 days, I have a little clip saying, okay, so now we add 30%. Thank you so much. And then more of like, I think the most I did was, mostly was just like cooking videos.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, here is, this recipe, and then we're doing a cookbook. And if you want to own this beautiful cookbook of 75 recipes, right? So all the time, you're almost always just like having to do something, because I thought people will forget about it, especially in the middle of it where it actually plateau, right? It would just go up when you first start, just like go up, and then it come down, and then it kind of stay, and then at the end it goes up. That's normal for Kickstarter. And that's why I feel like a 45-day campaigns versus a 30-day campaigns would make a lot of difference, because people always wait in the middle. So once it come to the middle, they're like, oh, I can do it later. It's not over yet. So I'll wait, right? So it's just, I feel like that extra 15 days is not really bringing me any more money than it would have if it was 30 days. So my next one would be 30 days. Got it. And I think it's a good amount. So you just like work hard. You just always kind of.
And there's a lot of people, I'm assuming, on Kickstarter that live there. They just like giving away money. They're philanthropic.
They do. They are a lot of people that actually like all day browsing Kickstarter. What else there is that I can support, or what else is interesting, or like they have a feeling of like, oh, if I put, because there's a lot of, innovations, right? Like things that never done before. So a lot of people like to be that person that could say, hey, I was the one that supported this company. Look how big they've got now, or things like that. And people raise, and oh my goodness, like some people like, I want to raise 100,000 for something, and then they raise like $2 million. That happened too.
And when you started writing the book, what is your process? Because I'm assuming, it's like you said, the very next day you start, and then
Yeah.
you raised the funds through Kickstarter. But how long did the process take you from start to finish? And then what was your process like to get the work done? How did you organize it?
So we started, so we have Kickstarter going,
Uh-huh.
and while the campaign is going, I'm writing, right? So we're not just waiting.
Uh-huh.
It's like, okay, if it doesn't come through, that's fine. At least we have some work, right? So because I did have some budget, at least like I know that I can get the manuscript done, like all the book done. So we just hit the ground running. We got the photographer all, like set, and then the graphic designer. So we just pretty much like started writing immediately, and my friend was editing as I was doing it. And we started doing photos, because we actually had to start doing photos even before anything else, because that was going in to the Kickstarter campaign, right? So it was already and so we just kind of hit the ground running, just in hope that in the 45 days it will all come together. So it took, I don't remember, I think it took about almost a year of just like writing, editing, graphic design and all that stuff. I remember it was done in 2020 in February. That's like right before COVID, like right before.
But everyone was cooking that time, so hopefully it did good for you.
Yeah, it was good for like people wanted to buy more cookbook, but like it was done. I think we started end of 18, and then the book was like in a mock-up, like a solid mock-up was, and then ready to send to print. That was February 2020. So like a year and a little bit. So I think that was, and then it came out October of 2020, right on time. That was our timeline. I've never seen anything like. I was like, whoa, we are on time. This is crazy. It was like right on time.
Right. So for some of
amazing.
this, thinking, okay, I want to start my own book, and I want to do it all myself. Which, by the way, in my opinion, unless they're offering you $1 million book deal, you should self-publish, in my opinion, because you get to keep it all versus splitting it amongst everyone.
Yeah.
But with that being said, if you had to give advice to someone that's planning on writing their first cookbook, and in a very similar style, what should they budget for photography, for design?
It all depends, and it's been 7 years that I've done it, so I just kind of not quite sure. And I think like I would say 10 grand for like design, for like each of this category will be right around 10 to maybe right now it might be a little bit more, for graphic design, for editing, and then for photography. And it could be more expensive. I don't know. Yeah. Right. I wouldn't say it would be less than that. Like,
you don't think so? Maybe with AI?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to do AI for editing, that could save you.
Yeah.
So like, but when I was working with my friend, she just knows me so well, right? So she knows my story. So it was like a really good experience to work with her, because when you read what she edited, you're like, wow, you know me so well. You didn't just like.
When the book is finally done and ready to be published, who do you go to for independent publishing?
My graphic designer took care of it.
She did. Okay.
So she did. She did. Yeah. She didn't like. I don't even know the name. I just saw the quote, and then I'm like, okay, that looks good. And then she did everything. She contacted them. She sent the file, and then it just arrived. Yeah.
Yeah. I do think independent publishing is the way to go. It's a beautiful book, and I love Thai food. I could talk about all that for a long time, but something else that I also wanted to talk to you about, because I think it's very interesting, is you didn't have a background in culinary when you jumped into opening your first restaurant.
Not really.
Well, when I say you didn't have a culinary background, I mean working in professional kitchens.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And then you opened your, Leap of Faith, arguably one of the most successful Thai restaurants in Austin, Texas.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I'm trying.
It's been around for a minute.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's one of the first ones I found when I moved here. So I guess the question would be, for people listening, what was that story like when you said, yeah, I'm going to open up a restaurant and I don't know anything about working in kitchens, or
right.
What was that process like? What were some of the things that you learned, that you didn't know that were hard lessons?
Right.
And then maybe also what were some of the things that you brought in as an advantage because you didn't know?
Right.
That a lot, like sometimes you know, so sometimes you're afraid to do things because you know
Because
better.
you know too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, I never really worked in a kitchen, right? So I was a cooking instructor. So I was teaching cooking classes before that. And then I was, vending at the farmer's market. So I know my concept, meaning like I want to make sure that the restaurant is sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I've been cooking the food at the farmer's market. And then so when I finally opened, it was more I wasn't opening a restaurant more so than I was opening a space that I could teach, right? So restaurant was kind of like the secondary, I would say. Like I was like, I want a space that I can teach about 12 people in the kitchen, and maybe I will make some food to sell on the side. Like seriously, it was like more on the cooking space because I was then like teaching at my house and I was determined to get out of the house. So I just didn't want to teach at my house anymore. So I was looking for a small space to be able to teach, but I was like, well, I'm teaching at night. So maybe in the day, I can just make food and then I can sell some food as like a deli. That's why we started off as a deli. So there was like a deli case with cold Thai food in there. People will come and they will say, okay, I want 1 pound of that, half a pound of these, right? So we weigh it out. And then so at night, there was no cooking done because it's already been done. People just come in to buy food at that point. So I actually had students inside the main kitchen that I cook for the restaurant because I couldn't do to order. Right. Because I want the space to be able to teach. So the only way I could do is to make it a deli style. And then I'm like, okay, but now that I'm teaching, I also kind of want to sell groceries and I don't have a big space. It was like started off as like a 1,300 square feet. Right. So there was like a wall that I could just put a shelf on that wall to store my groceries that I use. I was like, well, I'm storing it there, so I'm going to go ahead and sell it, right? So it looks really pretty, but that's also where we actually store our inventory, right? So it was kind of market / cooking school / a deli.
So at what point do you decide like, okay, we could do this. Let's start going all in with the restaurant?
Yeah, well, it's gradual.
Okay.
It's like, so you grow almost like organically since the beginning, right? As a vendor at farmer's market, then become a deli style. And then it was getting a little popular.
Yeah.
People were coming. And then because we were it's like an old strip mall, right? Like it was built in the late 60s and we were in the middle unit. It was like ABC, right? So like the unit C moved out and then the landlord was like, would you like to expand? And I was like, sure. And that was 1 year in. And so we expanded, right? And then we were still the same way. We was doing deli for a little, like, all that time, adding some bakery, some ice cream, just like, okay, we got a double rent now, so we're going to have to sell something else.
And by the way, for people, I tried your ice cream the other day.
Yeah.
And the strawberry one, because like, which one should we try? Try the strawberry one. I was like, okay, I've had strawberry before. Then I tried, I was like, that's really good strawberry.
Yeah, we use fresh strawberry.
It's really good. And then coconut, because it's all non-dairy, correct?
Right, correct, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. Really good ice cream for people that like ice cream.
Thank you. Yeah.
Really amazing.
And then so it's just kind of like, so it was in a way a restaurant, right? We have more space to set, and then Unit A moved out.
Yeah.
And then Lena was like, would you like to expand? I was like, sure. Right. And then so we kind of like a little bit at a time, like by the third going into the fourth year, we took over the whole strip.
How difficult was it for you going from teaching classes, entrepreneurial mindset, public speaking background,
right,
to all of a sudden being a chef?
Yeah.
Because now you're leading people, you're teaching them how to cook, you have to run service.
Yeah.
How did you go? How was it for you in that transition? What was your learning curve like?
I think because it's because we were growing, slowly. So we didn't just like boom, a restaurant with like 40 employees. We kind of went from, 2 employees to 5 to 6 to 8 and stuff like that. And then we finally like converted to a cook to order restaurant, I think in 2012. So we opened in 2008, right? 2012, we decided, okay, we're going to cook to order now because deli not working, right? Because it was just like people really, really want us to make food to order. Like this is customers driven, really. They're like, you should cook to order. And I was like, but I don't know. I'm not sure. And then now we had this big 4,500 square feet space. We're going to need to sell more. So the only way at that point in my head that I could sell more food is to cook to order because it's going to attract so many more people, right? It's like not many people want to just like bring their friends to a deli and sit down and possibly like get their food microwave because it was already made. There was no other way to heat it up. So I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So we went from deli to cook to order, like pretty much like overnight.
Was it easy for you to go from that, or did you have a steep learning curve to understand a la carte cooking?
Not really. Yeah, it was just I kind of like try it and it kind of, I didn't feel that it was any like, for some reason, I'm not sure. I can't find the answer why at that point I didn't feel that it was just that much different. It was just like the portion was different, right? So we had, and we make all the sauces ahead of time and all that stuff. So it was kind of in the planning, right? So like it was just like instead of making a big pad thai in a rondo, we just like, okay, we have the same sauce. We're gonna take that sauce and then make it smaller and write a recipe for just one dish. And it was and plus it was not like we hit the ground running like and got super busy immediately. It was just almost like as people find out, they were coming more. And I mean, but seriously, this like once we switched, people were waiting for it. I'm not kidding. It was just like the sales triple within like 3 months.
Wow!
It just went from like,
and
I don't know, yeah.
And I guess one of the questions I would have for you, and I don't mean this in a way that I mean this offensive. I'm just very curious about it because I talk to a lot of chefs and they all have strong opinions about. I mean, ask them. They have strong opinions about salt. I mean,
Okay.
everything. Chefs have strong opinions about everything, really. But in your mind, for you only, not what anyone else thinks, but for you, do you consider yourself a chef?
Well, for a long time, no. And for now, I start to accept the title more than anything. But in the beginning, it took me forever to just like, oh, well, I'm not really a chef. I'm just a cook. I'm a home cook. I like to entertain. I like to feed people. That is in my nature and in my culture, right? So that's what we do. If you go to Thailand, you will eat like 6 times a day because every time you meet someone, they're like, let's go eat. And then you go meet someone else and it's like, okay, let's go eat. Right. So for me, and that's how the restaurant started too. It started as a dinner party. Right. So for me to convert, because I didn't go to like school professionally. I never worked in a kitchen.
You didn't have formal training, and
right. I didn't like climb up from a cook to a sous chef. Yes. I haven't done any of that. I just know that I can cook. And
you can run
people love people do love the food that I make, right? So I know that for sure that my food is good.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just a matter of converting from, like I'm making food for 10 people to I'm making food for, hundreds and thousands of people. And it kind of just came naturally. I also was, I think, lucky that all of my cooks and most of the people that I've hired were not professional cooks either. They just come from like a retail, like vintage store, or I trained them all. And it's like, this is how you cook Thai food. Right. And then other thing, which is kind of, I think also as a person, I have like my nature is to serve. I love serving. I love pleasing people. I love to cook. I love to entertain. So that's already in my blood.
Yeah.
I love doing it. I'm happy doing it. I love to see people's smiling faces. It make me happy. It made me want to wake up next day and do it again. Right. So with all that, I think like because of my natural instinct that I like to do that. So I'm able to train other people to do the same thing.
What's very interesting, about your restaurant and about you in general is well, I'll start with this one. Your restaurant was the first time I'd ever seen in real life, because I'd heard about it, but I'd never seen it in real life. And this was early. You're one of the first people I've seen in Austin that included gratuity, right?
Right.
You included gratuity automatically as part of the bill.
Yes.
And I had never, I mean, I know it's more common now, but I think when you were doing it, I can't think of any other restaurant in Austin that was doing it at the time.
Right.
So how did that come to be? How did you form that in your ethos? Why did you do it? And then was there initial pushback?
Well, I was always frustrated with the tipping system.
Uh-huh.
When I was a server even. So I didn't feel right that I was making more money than the back of the house. So I just feel like, why is this system even here? It doesn't make any sense. Why, a lot of it doesn't make sense. Why are we leaving it to the customers to decide how much money we make? Why am I stressed every single time I have to come to work because I don't know how much money I'm going to make, right? So all of this added. So when I finally run a restaurant, it was a deli and then counter service in the beginning. So I'm like, okay, I was paying higher than the 213 and a little bit higher than minimum wage, but still a lot of people were still depending on tips. And I found that tipping create conflicts, right? Nobody's happy. It's like, oh, I should have made that much. I should have made this. I don't want to
And I
share.
can tell you from a cook standpoint, they all do not like.
Yeah.
They're all, why do they make more money than me? And
Right. Yeah. Sweating back here. And then they will be standing next to the cook line and say, oh man, today was such a slow day. I only make $120.
Yeah.
And goes like, well, I was sweating in here making $60, right? 6 hours. Like,
yeah.
A lot of cooks were making $10, $12 an hour back then. And then I was just thinking, how could this be fair? I just don't like it. The system. And for me, not used to that. Like in Thailand, we don't do that. Because
what's the tipping culture like in Thailand?
It just whatever left as a change. There's no percentage, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going back to Thailand. I'm doing more than like my mom was like, that's too much. And I was like, well, that's okay. I just let me do it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing 20% or anything, but I kind of taking into consideration how big the table is, what is the tap, right? If it's a lot of work, then I'm just like, I'm not going to just leave them like this 10 baht change. I'm going to grab more money so that I'm going to make somebody's day better by just like doing that. But it's never really, because we know that they either add service charge on the bill or they've already calculated that what cost them to make this food. So this
everyone could be paid
right
the way they need to be.
So this price already includes everything. I always use this example. Like, let's say you go buy a pair of jeans, right? You got terrible customer service. You still have to pay $100 for that pair of jeans. They're not going to give you a discount. So, and that person going to still make whatever they're making per hour.
That's 1 point.
Right? And then why would like they come into the restaurant and there was a mistake made? Doesn't matter where it comes from, doesn't matter what else going on, but the server get punished by not getting paid for the work that they already performed, from like taking order, bringing you water, bussing the table, right? So it like the work is already there. It's just not at the. And then if you want a tip, then you can add, okay, I appreciate you.
How does that affect prime costs on a P&L? How does that affect prime costs if you're...
Well, our labor runs really high.
Your labor line runs really high, but does that affect the top end revenues?
Eventually it doesn't. In the beginning, it was like, so we put in number on spreadsheet for a year before we went for it. We like, okay, we're going to switch to table service, right? So it's like this gradual thing from like deli to counter service to cook to order. And then now we're like, okay, we're going to go for table service in 16. And we also going to change to no tip. We're going to take all of the expense, put that onto the price of the food. Whatever you see, that's what it is. And we're going to pay the server slightly higher than the Austin living wage because it's different, right? Like the minimum wage for Texas is $7.25, which I'm not sure why is that much because it's not enough. You know, it has to be like triple that already at this point.
Right.
So we take the published city living wage, like, and then that's what we paid our servers. And then we calculate that and reflect that into the price of the food. And we were transparent about it. We tell people, and at some point we didn't even have tipping line. And then we started adding the tipping line because people were upset that they could not add any more money.
Yeah, right? I know part of the issue with tipping is I want to feel generous. Yes. And even though you're giving them and it's included, I still want to give them something.
Right, right. And
I
then
feel
we
good
do,
about it.
yeah, we do get extra, whatever, 3 to 6% extra, but then everybody know that this is what we're doing. And we change the style a little bit. Instead of like adding even more to the price, we just add a 15% service fee, like included in that. And then we were transparent. Every time we bring the check to the table, we inform the customer that we're like 15% already added. You know, we didn't even do 20%, like a regular table service amount that a lot of people are doing.
Did you get pushback at all from initially from the guests coming in?
A little bit, yeah. You can't please everyone, right? A lot of people were praising us, like so they were happy, like because people that follow us, they already know that we are doing, you know, meaning like we use sustainable ingredients. We try our hardest whenever possible. We'll use it. All of our meats are from within 3-hour drive from Austin, so they already know our ethos that we
I would say,
yeah.
Your restaurant, the community definitely understands that the decisions that you make in your restaurant are definitely aligned with the values of the community,
right?
That you feed. I think you guys do a great job at that.
Thank you. Yeah, we got very little pushback though. We did get. I mean, you can't please everyone, and then eventually people are just like, "Oh, okay, so it's the same. So I'm not paying more. You know, I'm not." It's the same, like unless they usually don't tip at all, which is not even the case. But some of them some of the people kind of like.
Is there people that don't tip at all?
They are, yeah.
I think I have a family member that for everything, it's just $1 under the coffee cup.
Yes. I mean, it's just like, so they're already tipping and then they realize that, oh, okay, I understand why the change, right? Why Thai Fresh is doing it this way. And then, eventually it actually is better for everyone. We have very low turnover. We have like 0 turnover in the kitchen.
You know how to cook. That's not the problem. The problem is getting your team to do what you want, when you want it. That's leadership. My book, Culinary Leadership Fundamentals, breaks down exactly how to run a kitchen without losing your mind. Stop yelling, start leading. Get the book at chefspsa.com. So everyone on the team then makes a livable wage.
Yes, and then it is like an Austin published livable wage. Yeah.
And then as far as ethos goes, and again, talking about what you do, so you have the vegan ice cream. Was it gluten-free?
It is gluten-free,
You brought me some stuff.
Oh, yes, I did. Forgot about that, right?
Like, I'm looking at it.
I came bearing gifts.
I don't think I've ever eaten anything on the podcast. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah. Well, why not? It's the best thing. So this is coffee cake. So our coffee cake is not vegan. It's like sour cream coffee cake. And I think this is the best coffee cake, period. Gluten-free or not. I think it's like one of the best ones out there. Yeah. It's been on our menu for a long time. One of the oldest. And that is our sea salt chocolate tart. It's a little dark. And that came during,
was that like ganache based?
It's just pretty much just chocolate and coconut milk, really, and salt.
It's really good.
Like no extra sugar in the thing, and vanilla.
Yeah, I was telling we were talking about this the other day. I have the biggest sweet tooth. Like people don't know that. Like someone messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, you're getting fat. You need to lose weight." I was like, people don't know. I have like the biggest sweet tooth.
Do you like it? It's good. Yeah, it's not super sweet. That one. It came about during COVID that I was trying to find something simple to make. Right. So the restaurant was closed. We're doing curbside. I didn't have as many employees. So I'm like,
is it bad that I keep going back? I should stop.
No, it's not bad.
You're going to have to take this away. This is so good.
No, once I brought it, it's here. It's not going away. Yeah.
But back to the ethos of the restaurant. So quality ingredients, we were talking about the strawberry ice cream earlier.
Yeah.
But you also incorporate that in everything. So the chicken that you're using.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong. There was a story about one time you didn't serve chicken because you couldn't get chicken that was
local and sustainable. Yeah.
It didn't live up to your expectations.
Right.
That's correct.
That's right. I because our chicken farmer suddenly just like, oh, we decided to no longer run this chicken farming, and I was like, oh no, what are we gonna do? And at that point, I only know one like farm that does it. And so I was searching and searching. It was hard to it is too hard to believe that it was so hard to find a chicken farmer. And it was at that point. Not many people, you can find pork, you can find beef. There's like several of them, right? So for chicken, and then we kept looking, and then finally we found one out of Wago or near Wago that doing, pasture-raised, sustainable. We were able to find whole chicken, but not like,
So
like
what
boneless
did
chicken.
what did the customer say when you say we're not serving chicken
Yeah,
anymore?
so we only had,
It's not like, did you have pushback?
we did. They were mad. So we only had like chicken from whole chicken, meaning like we had our chicken rice, which is my family recipe, my most favorite food in the whole wide world. That's the cover of the book, right? So
Okay.
that's chicken rice. So that we were able to serve because we were able to find the whole chicken supplier. We couldn't find the fillet, and we're not gonna fillet chicken from the whole chicken for everything else. So we didn't have it, and people were like, you could just go to Whole Foods and get it, right? So they have good chicken. And I was like, but they're from Pennsylvania. Because I did look, right? So I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not I want to commit to, my protein comes from within 3 hours from Austin.
So you really put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. So I didn't have chicken for 6 months,
Yeah. Wow.
and I finally found one.
And you didn't close.
I did not close.
You didn't close.
They ate something else.
I love Thai food, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Thai food in Thailand.
Okay.
Why do you think that Thai food is, I personally think it's one of the strongest cuisines globally, like flavor wise.
I agree.
But what is it that makes Thai food so unique? And by the way, when I was first introduced to Thai food, I think a big reason why I loved it is because it was so similar to me to Mexican food in a way.
Yes.
In a way, the lime,
Yeah,
cilantro, the heat,
Yes.
the broths, the sauce work. Even though, they're worlds apart,
Right.
I felt like there was a lot of commonality in the style, and you almost start to wonder, like, well, if we go back several hundred years, people kind of come to the same conclusions a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I think it's like, I have to go back and look at the history, like how, like, people migrate, or like how they end up at one part and where they're actually coming from. So I think people will like travel or migrate with the food, right? So Thailand is, I think it's the location. Geography plays a really important role in the cuisine itself. Southeast Asia in general, right? Like where it's situated, it is sandwiched by two oldest cuisine in the world, right? Chinese cuisine, or China, and then to the southwest is India, right? So when people start to travel or migrate and go into Thailand, and so they bring the food with them, right? So if you're going to a little north side of Southeast Asia, like north of Thailand or even Vietnam, the food is a little closer to Chinese food, but a little bit more spice because they're also closer to India, right? So, and as the food travel or people travel, right, you're going to the middle of Thailand, and then you're going to the southern Thailand, and then you go to Malaysia, food start to get closer and closer to Indian food. Right. So when you mix these two oldest cuisines in the world and make it into Thai or Vietnamese or Malaysian food, it is so good because it's just like, it has all of the flavors. Whatever Chinese food was lacking, then the Indian food will kind of come in with the spices. So for the Indian part, they're mostly like heavy on spice, not as much as fresh herbs. Then the Chinese cuisine will kind of make up for that. So I think like the mixture of the two oldest cuisine in the world, and then falling, it's almost like Southeast Asia is like a melting pot for these two big cuisine in the world. And I think like the reason, especially Thailand, because Thailand is smack right in the middle of Southeast Asia, right? So like if you go to Malaysia, food is a little bit more like very similar to Indian food, a little lighter, not as dry spice forward. But and I think like for Thai food in particular, because of all of these flavors and influence, when you eat Thai food, there's like so many dishes of Thai dishes that has all of the flavors, right? Spicy, salty, sour, sweet, and bitter. In how do I say it? Like in a higher level, like it's not just subtle. It has just like coconut soup, for example. There's a lot of lime, there's a lot of chili, there's a lot of cilantro, there's a lot of fish sauce. So you get all of it, right? So most food is that way. We'll have
So,
all
so it's
the
like if you
flavor.
have the music and it's like, okay, here's the spicy knob and here's the
Right.
you turn the volume up on a lot of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can taste them all. So when you eat it, like the feeling or the sensation you get, it's different.
And there's so many unique flavors I mean, if we're talking lemongrass or if we're talking kaffir lime or if we're talking fish sauce,
Right.
or palm sugar.
Yes.
A lot of these we're familiar, but we're not that familiar from, in the West. So
Yeah.
it's like you want to add some acidity, but you also want to add some lemon flavor and you start to add the other layered ingredients. And, and I was able to recognize that early as a chef. It's like, wow, these flavors are so unique and powerful and a little goes a long way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
I think like I think Asian cuisine is like tend to be a little sweeter.
Yeah.
So we put sugar in everything. Doesn't have to be a lot in everything. Some of the thing you don't even taste it.
Now, why do you put the sugar though?
Because it balances the sour.
Right?
Yeah, it balances sour.
Yeah.
Especially if anything that has like lime juice, definitely sugar.
And when you're typically reaching for sugar, are you always reaching for palm sugar typically?
Both. So palm sugar or white sugar. We use a lot of white sugar, and I am not, like my food is a little less sweet than most Thai chefs. I think like, it's just from my preference, right? But when I don't add it, it's not the same. It doesn't have that, like the complexity is not the same. So when I teach cooking classes, what we do is like we taste it and then we add one flavor, fish sauce, and we taste it again. And then we add the sugar and we taste it again. And then we add the sour and we taste it again. And people were like amazed by how each of the flavor make the existing thing that they had before more complex.
So when
more flavorful.
When you're teaching someone that has no frame of reference of Thai food,
right.
and it's like, okay, this is what it tastes like, and this is how we get there. How do you teach them? What are the steps that you get them to understand the Thai palate?
So that example that exercise that I do, that's one of them, right? But then before the class start, I would go into all the flavors that are out there, right? So I lay it out into like, okay, there's like spicy, it comes from what ingredients, right? And the same as like salty, sweet, sour, bitter, and then you mix them all, and then like I kind of make them visualize it. Like, for example, I like to use chocolate, for example. It's really bitter, 100%. You add a little sugar, one ingredient, sweet. You can eat more of it. And then sometimes you see salt in the chocolate and you're like, whoa, this is so good. And all you add is salt, right? Or you add fruit in there and it become more complex. And then you add, sometimes people put spice in the chocolate bar. And that's why it's like, and then it becomes so good. It's the same as food.
And then you add a little heat to it.
Yeah, you do the same thing. And then like, I make them visualize it. That's like, if you receive a plate of food and you eat it and you're like, man, this needs sriracha or hot sauce on it. It means your body is craving it because your body or your taste buds want that sensation that you have when you have all of these 5 flavors, right? So you grab, you put it on. It's like, that's the sensation I'm looking for. So it make people just like, oh, so if I'm missing something, they're trying to like visualize like what that flavor that I'm missing. And I have them taste each of the ingredients sometimes. So they're just like, oh, now I understand like that. If I'm missing that feeling, it probably is fish sauce. But I always say, when in doubt, add fish sauce. It's not there yet. Let's try fish sauce.
There's very unique flavors. We're talking about, I think the very familiars are lemongrass, kaffir lime, but there's also like galangal. That has a very unique flavor. And people that don't know, when you try it for the first time, like, you can say it's kind of like ginger, but it's not.
It's not.
It has its own profile flavor. Or pandan leaf.
Yes.
Flavors that people are completely unfamiliar with. And when you try them for the first time, it's like, all your creativity for me was starting to go off. It's like, wow, how can I incorporate this into?
Exactly.
I mean, I remember at the restaurant I was chef at the time, we did a foie gras torchon and we served it with a banana salsa that had lemongrass and kaffir lime. I think we did a pandan jelly with it, like a lot of people do like a gelée, and
right.
we did with pandan. And it was like, why was I doing it? I don't know. I was young, but I just really like
But
Thai.
that sounds good.
I really like Thai
know.
food. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always like, when I go eat some other cuisines and I can detect some of the Thai flavor,
Yeah.
I'm like on top of the world. I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like I went to, like, my experience was like, I was at Uchi. At that point, I was a blogger. So I was invited to Uchi. So they brought out this tuna with like watermelon, right? And then I took a bite and I turned to the chef. I was like, is there any Thai chili and fish sauce in this? And he's like, yeah, there is. So like you kind of, because you don't think that it was going to be there. And then you taste and you're like, whoa, this is like Thai food almost.
Yeah.
You know? So he was incorporating that because I know that a lot of his chefs also from Thailand and all that stuff. So it's kind of fun and really cool to see other cuisines incorporate all these ingredients that you can kind of detect it, or you eat and you're like, that kind of tastes like galangal. I wonder if that was, right? Yeah. And then if you ask the chef, likely that they would say, yes, that was galangal. Yeah.
We used to, at the last place where I was chef, we used to take the cucumbers and compress them with fish sauce, lime juice, a little bit of palm sugar, some chilies, garlic, and we'd vacuum them, so it'd compress them, and then we'd grill them. And then we would do like the green papaya, but we'd punch them out in, little star garnishes or whatever. And we'd serve it with a peanut sauce. And it was like the most simple thing. It was basically like somtam or something like that.
Yeah.
But everyone that would come in that would order that, say like, that's the best thing we've ever had. Is like,
right.
Like the flavors of Thai food.
Yeah.
The way that it's able to balance, for me, they can't be beat. I love it.
Right. Well, good.
Yeah.
Good. Because that's what I make. Yeah.
Do you think there's something that, for the people that are listening, I want to ask you two culinary specific questions. Is there something that is very common, ubiquitous, let's call it, in Thai cooking, that every kitchen, that Western, French, Italian, could incorporate this because it's so much better, you get so much flavor, or it's so much more efficient? If there was one thing that you think every kitchen in the world should do that comes from the Thai kitchen, what would you say it is?
Oh, I don't know. There's just so many good ingredients. I think fish sauce and soy sauce.
Yeah.
Let's say fish sauce. I feel like it is, to me, even as a Thai person, I still feel like that is one of the most fascinating ingredients to me, because like you add it, if you cook it, the fish goes away, leaving you with this umami flavor, right? It doesn't go with everything. I sometimes put fish sauce in my pasta.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's missing something. And then I'll put it in, and then people will love it, and they have no idea what I put in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be one. But then also, I think pandan.
Yeah.
Like if I have to pick one more, right? It's like one is like a condiment, and one would be like something that like leafy or like vegetable sort of thing. Pandan. I think it's like, I like to see people use it for not just dessert, because that's what we use in Thailand a lot. But whenever you can incorporate pandan into savory food, right? It just gives a different like flavor. It's like sweet, but you don't have to put in any sugar. It bring in that complexity of almost like vanilla. It's like, imagine putting vanilla in savory food. You're kind of like, I'm not sure. Now that I think about it, I probably should also try to do vanilla in savory food and see what happens, because pandan works really well in some, because we have like, I think I only know two things in Thai cuisine, or one maybe, that actually call for pandan, that as far as savory goes. So I think it just has like, and it's one of the, like my most favorite food to eat. So I feel like if it can do that to one thing, it should be able to do that to many other things. Like, make like a pandan sauce, like a base sauce kind of thing. So I think that might be the two.
This is my last question that's culinary related to Thai food. Are we allowed to use the curry paste already made?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I do that. Yeah. I mean, like,
where do we stand? Because everyone that we were talking about, this Thai community that I used to hang out with.
Yeah.
They would all use the curry paste already. In
the can. Yeah. Messy.
Yeah.
I mean, in Thailand, they don't make their own curry paste either. But because we have fresh market right? 5 a.m. in the morning, close at 4 p.m. And we have them every single corner of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you buy them there. So even Thai people don't even make them anymore. I mean, my mom used to make them. She would like maybe every few times she would just like, let's just make our own today. So I grew up learning how to make curry paste. So I know how, if I have to make one.
Do you do always mortar and pestle or use blend?
I use mortar and pestle. I can't use blender. It's wrong. It's like, it's not right.
Okay.
I would rather just buy a canned paste than using a blender. I would do mortar and pestle. I always say whenever I'm homesick, I would grab my mortar and pestle and start making curry paste. I just want to hear that sound of mortar and pestle hitting each other, and then just smell of spice that it's like get broken down one by one. So it's like, okay, now it's down to Golongo. I can smell it stronger as and as you, pound that pesto onto the curry paste, like the flavor or the sense, like the fragrance intensify, right? Because you break it down more and more and more and you can smell it. So it's like a very, like that feeling is like unmatched. You can't find it.
What's your go-to brand for curry paste? Which ones do you like?
Messy.
Messy.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
It's
Massy?
Maesri.
Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of time people say Mashri, but it actually comes from just messy in Thai. Yeah.
And what's your go-to fish sauce?
Fish sauce would be either tipperot, which is like a plastic bottle, like square plastic bottle, or squid.
Squid.
Squid is my mom's favorite.
Yeah, I like squid too.
Yeah, squid is good.
I haven't tried the other one. Wow, this has been fun. I'll tell you that looking at your book, eating this, and then talking about Thai food has made me very, very hungry.
Right, you should come. You should like start cooking.
I am. I'm gonna go home and make something tonight.
Yeah.
In my pantry, I think I have some.
I'm sure you have something.
Red curry paste.
Yes,
already
there you
made.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Where can people find you if they want to eat at your restaurant, and then also if they want to follow on social media?
Well, we are at Thai Fresh. So 909 West Mary is in South Austin. And then we also have breakfast. I'm just like blanking. We have on the east side on Holly Street. It's called Gati Cafe, which we serve, travel inspired food. So it's like the food that I ate as I travel, and those are my favorites. So I incorporate that into our breakfast and lunch menu. And it is an ice cream shop in the afternoon, and coffee shop. And I also teach cooking classes, which you can find the schedule on the Thai Fresh website.
And the book?
The book, you can either buy it at the restaurant or you can actually order online through our website.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, that's the show. If you liked it, make sure you leave 5 stars, nothing less than 5 stars. If you want more Chefs PSA, go to chefspsa.com. Get yourself some books, get yourself some merch, including Culinary Leadership Fundamentals and the Line Cook Survival Manual. If you want early access to episodes, you can get them on Spotify and Substack by becoming a paid member. The link is in the notes. We'll see you next week. Hit the porno music.
No spawn drip in the kitchen, mixing, dropping chef knowledge, no fiction. Stirring up the beats, heating up the session. Listen close, class is in session.